Music. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Look, whenever there's a big platform reveal, whenever there's a big price reveal, it's always huge news, especially inside the gaming industry, and especially if it's happening at GDC. And that's exactly what VR is. It's a new platform. People like you and me are really excited to see what kind of gaming experiences they make. People outside the gaming industry are trying to see what they can do with movies or with real estate or with travel. It has huge implications on the tech world. So it's really exciting overall to see what VR can evolve to in the next 10 years. Now, we already know the price point for Oculus. We already know what HTC Vive is going to be priced at. But the only one that was really left was Sony PlayStation. Now, PlayStation VR is interesting. A lot of people are saying that it's probably the most comfortable VR headset. There's already 35 million PlayStation 4s out there, so that's a huge install base to get an early lead. And so what we know today is that it comes out in October, I think the 16th, which is right in the middle of when everything else is coming out. And it's coming out at $399. Now that's huge because Oculus is priced at $600, so that's $200 difference. And then there's HTC Vive, who is priced at $800, I believe. So that's a $400 difference. And I'm not even counting the amount it takes to purchase into a capable PC that can run these two things. So you already have a PlayStation 4, or at least 35 million people do, and you're pricing the VR headset at way lower than the competition. So that's a huge head start, and a lot of positivity, a lot of momentum going into this fall when this thing comes out, especially with all the new games that the PlayStation 4 is going to offer. So let's talk about games first and foremost, okay? So the big players, the big games that are coming out for PlayStation VR was, well, one of them was announced today, which is Star Wars Battlefront Experience. I don't know what that's going to be like, but it should be interesting. I bet it's probably going to be something like you get to fly your own X-Wing or Y-Wing or A-Wing or whatever. It's just one of the wings, and it's going to be really fun, hopefully. But I doubt you're going to be able to run the typical Star Wars Battlefront experience on PlayStation VR. But yet, who knows? Maybe it will be like that. But one thing they did announce today was theater mode. So a lot of people have been coming out of GDC already trying PlayStation VR and being able to play your favorite games like Uncharted, like The Last of Us, like games like Star Wars Battlefronts or Killzone, or all those, first party games, or maybe even third party games or second party games, doesn't matter. But they've been able to play it inside of what it feels and looks like a movie theater. So that's something I'm interested in, because being able to play something that already keeps me away from, makes me just focus on the game in front of me is really important. And I already try to do that as much as I can by turning the lights off, but still there's, the phone's on and stuff like that. So being able to fully immerse yourself in the game, even though it's not a full VR experience, is cool. So I want to see how big the screen is, because that'd be interesting. And I want to see what the sound's going to be like, but I wear headset anyway. Headphones. The other game, Adrift. Now that one's really cool. It's a space one. You're floating around. It's more of like a first-person experience. Get to explore the area, but there's survival tactics with oxygen tanks and stuff like that. So that's cool. Check the trailer out if you haven't seen it. Ace Combat 7. That one's going to be you're in a cockpit and flying around, and we can expect obviously good gameplay with that, good combat. Now, Ark Survival Evolved, that's a highly intensive game. That's a really pretty game, at least from what the first trailer showed me. And that one has potential to really be big on PlayStation VR. So hopefully that's one of those killer apps that everyone's talking about and hopes for. Dreams. Now that one is prime for PlayStation VR. It's obviously very interesting. A lot of people don't know much about it yet, but it's definitely feels like an art tech demo. I get to create your own worlds and stuff like that, and it's very much in tune with what Media Molecule has been doing with a lot of its stuff with creation tools and building your own worlds and sharing it with the community. So Dream seems interesting. I don't know if if it has that wide appeal that people are looking for, but yet again, it could have it could attract a very niche kind of consumer, and therefore, still produce a good amount of sales. But yet again, I'm still a little worried about that game in terms of how well it's going to do. We have Valkyrie, which you guys already know. I think it's coming out bundled with Oculus, and it's going to be one of those games that's on every single platform, and that one can definitely be a killer app. One of the games that people are going to be playing on day one, October 16th, when PlayStation VR comes out. And then we have Gran Turismo Sport. That's probably a later game, probably a December release, maybe even 2017. But that one's going to be really cool for those people that love car games and looking for that, simulation feel to it. So being able to immerse yourself inside of that car and being able to drive around, not just drive around, being able to race is very important for those people. So that's, Gran Turismo has always sold really, really well. And so we'll see how it does with PlayStation VR. But immersing yourself in a car and racing is something that car lovers and car video game lovers have always been trying to do. So you can expect that game to sell really well with PlayStation VR. Res Infinite, really weird, quirky game. A game that's been around for a while now, but it's definitely interesting to see how well it does. And, because there's obviously new gamers now, they don't really know about Res, but it could be one of those weird, quirky, psychedelic type of experiences on VR that some people might be interested in. And then Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. If there's some games that I'm missing, whatever, but that one's more of a rail shooter, probably one of those, roller coaster type of experiences that you've seen, but you get to shoot around too. So that one's cool, but nothing that's going to blow you away. And I'm definitely looking for those type of experiences that will blow me away. I'm looking for something that you can experience a deep story and also really good gameplay. And, London Heist seems to be on the verge of something like that, even though it's obviously a heist game. I want to see interactive levels. I want to see a cool story. I want to see being able to really use my ability to just take cover and shoot around and, recharge or my clip, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that one seems interesting. That one has the most potential for creating an interesting story. And so does Gollum. Gollum has been, they've been showing off that game this past week or the past month a lot lately, especially on IGN. So that one's really interesting to see how weird they get with it, because it does look like a very unique type of experience. So final thing to note about PlayStation VR is OLED display, of course, and then we have 1080p resolution, I think, per eye, which is important. And then when we have 120 hertz, so that frame rate needs to be proper, because whenever you have the VR experience, you want a high frame rate to make sure that you don't have that weird stomach feeling like you want to puke. And that's one of the things that will kill VR. I swear will kill it if there's a lot of videos online of people using VR for, I don't know, an hour or two and then start puking. Because I played The Witness and that was an immersive type of experience. And I swear to God, I felt like puking after 10 minutes playing that game. So if VR has even, a little bit of that feeling, then I'm going to be a little hesitant to pick it up and play it. What else? 360-degree head tracking. Obviously, I want to see a hard number in terms of head tracking. I want to see something like 1.7 or I don't know, some weird number that shows me what head tracking does in terms of how it compares to the competition. So we know from what we've heard that HTC Vive has really, really good head tracking and can really track your movements properly. So I want to see a hard number to see what it's like, what head tracking is like with the PlayStation VR, what it's like with Oculus, and what it's like with the Vive, and see how I can compare the two. Because just saying that 360-degree head tracking doesn't really show me that you have proper, tracking of my head. 100-degree field of view, which is good. Obviously, there's some that are better, but that's definitely a good one. You definitely want field of view to be proper, because right now I have a pretty wide one. Obviously, it's real life, and I want to be able to immerse myself as much as I can inside that world. So, definitely improving the field of view will do that. Even if you have to blur, a little bit over here, that's fine. I mean, I'm doing it anyway. Or my eyes are doing it anyway. Anyway, latency is less than 18 milliseconds. A lot of this stuff that I'm talking about in terms of specs is going to be improved upon with iterations of the console or of the platform, whatever. So even if right now you're not fully satisfied with, the specs of the machine, definitely in the next 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, you could expect maybe a PlayStation VR 2 or something like that to come out, and they will definitely improve upon those numbers. So it will be interesting to see what VR looks like in the next 10 years. But anyway, that's it. Big news, $399. They have huge momentum going into the summer and the fall. You can expect PlayStation VR to get an early lead in terms of numbers, and Oculus is going to do well. So is HTC Vive, but you can't compete with 35 million PlayStation 4 owners and a price point like $400. When you want to look at, if you're a casual consumer that wants to look at buying into VR, and you're looking at, okay, I need to buy a beefy ass PC to run this thing, and I need to purchase it's $600, and then it's $800 for an HTC Vive for the premier VR experience. And that's that might push people away a little bit. But then you see PlayStation VR over here, and it's not as powerful as the others, but at the same time, it can definitely give you that VR experience you're looking for. There are going to be games for it, and you can expect first-party developers like Naughty Dog and all these companies to really try something really interesting with VR. So premier VR experiences are probably going to be on PlayStation VR because it's just one platform. You don't have to deal with all of these different, PCs that are going to have to run this game. So they're going to be well optimized for that platform. Anyway, I'm speaking about it way too much, but the point is that they're going to be doing really, really well in 2016 going into 2017, I believe. And the price point is a huge step in making sure that happens. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about PlayStation VR's price. Let me know what you guys think about my thoughts, and maybe we could have a discussion in the comments. But that's it. I'm out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Music.